Welcome back to another episode of Rhode to Kerbin. This is episode 9, and we're just looking at the craft that we found around Armstrong last time, and it seems to have an interesting insignia on it. Winter Owl. I wonder what that could be. Anyway, let's get going. So, welcome to Mission Control, and we have a number of different missions that we've been looking at. Thank you, Gene. So, the first one being this big one, which is the strategic mission for Armstrong, and this is about planting a flag there. We're going to get a lot of money, and we need to finish this before we can move on to any other strategic ones. So we're avoiding Lure and places like that because we want to finish our Armstrong missions. We've also got things like thank you, Gene. Do a crewed landing and return on Armstrong, which we can bundle into that. We've got a plant a flag on Armstrong, which is actually the task to complete the strategic ones, so they'll complete at the same time. We've got science data from the surface of Armstrong, good. We've also got stable orbit, and we've got science data from space around Armstrong, which we can get, and then we've got a stable orbit around Rhode and science data around Rhode, which we can get on the way. So I think we can complete this in one flight. So we're going to put a rocket together. It's going to be an adaptation of our exploration craft. Probably just stick some landing legs on it or something. And I think we're going to Armstrong. We're going to land. Right. I think I'll see you on the launch pad. So here we are at the launch pad as we take off, and we have in the passenger seat, pilot seat, driving seat, Grace Rosen, who is not looking particularly positive right now, actually, talking about it. She may need to smile a little bit more because, you know, she's hopefully going to be the first Kerbal to set foot upon Armstrong. And what we need to do is actually turn the craft over slightly before we get too carried away there. So the plan is we're going to take this craft, which is a modified Exploration 2, it's going to be Explorer 3. We're going to take it up into orbit, put it into orbit, collect some science for our tasks around Kerbin, which we're going to talk about. Oh, she seems to have settled down a little bit now, doesn't she? She looks a little bit happier. We're going to do that. Then we're going to plot a course to Armstrong, get into Armstrong's orbit. We could go for direct descent, but we don't want to. We're going to pop into orbit, get some science while we're there again. We'll probably have to force the science there. And then we're going to go for a descent onto the surface. Now, the transfer is going to be an interesting one. I would really like to do it at an ascending or descending node, because then we don't have to do a mid-course plane change, and we come in reasonably equatorial. I would like to put our craft onto an equatorial orbit if we have the delta V. We should have. This craft should have enough delta V to really do that. So we'll see. So we're just going to continue on our burn there. I've turned the rocket almost horizontally there, and we're just going to go up. And I think I'm going to aim for about 60. I think is a good 65, 60, 70. So go for 70. So we're going to cut the engine when we get to about 70. There we go. We're going to coast on up there and have a look at what we're doing. So let's have a look. We've got a nice long arc there. We're going to put our marker in there, maneuver node. Yeah, just tap it. We're going to pull out a little thing here. Obviously, upcoming Kerbal update, or has now happened actually, Kerbal 1.12 should be out before this video, in actual fact. I will not probably be updating this save. I think we'll probably keep this save on 1.11 because I've actually had to modify some bits even. So the science only Kerbalism I've actually had to create myself because the science only Kerbalism doesn't work with 1.11. So there's been some modifications required of that, which is part of the reason why in the last episode we didn't have any EVA fuel when we were trying to rescue that individual from the mystery craft. So what we're going to do, we've got about 500 meters per second delta V, not a great launch, but it's not bad. So we're going to finish off this stage. It'll dump back down onto the planet somewhere around, and then we can use this upper stage here to actually get into the correct orbit. And we've got about a minute until there. We're going to burn at about 25 seconds, something like that. We don't worry. Now the second stage of this is actually going to take longer, so maybe about 30 is a good start. So let's just do that, and then off we go. Fire the engines, and we're just going to fire that away and get ourselves into orbit. Once we're in orbit, then we can actually look at where we're going. Is there anything? Oh, what's that? A nice glint there. That could be one of our things, or it could be a moon. There is something equatorial that keeps appearing there when it's not Lure. Where is Lure? Lure's... interesting. I thought Lure normally ended up being where we were firing to. That's interesting. and I delayed my launch there because of my staging there because of weirdness. We'll actually get rid of these fairings. Oh, that's not gone well. Our fairings seem to be stuck to us. Okay, interesting. Could be worse. Right, we're going to cut that. Right, we now are going to actually go a little bit further to our AtmosphereOps and pop it on it. Now, this, I don't really like doing double burns like this, but I want to get a reasonably nice orbit, and I'm not still. I've been playing Realism Overhaul a bit recently, so my my ability to interpret what is going on in this one with thrust and so forth is a little thrown off actually. So this is all my previous recordings. This were done a while ago. It's been a bit of a break, or a little break, while I see how the series goes and what I need to do and what your feedback is and things like that. So yeah, this is the first one after getting some of your feedback and things like that. So we're just going to pull this up into the orbit. Not perfect, but it'll do. Alright, just going to get that to what, 60, 70? 60, 75, 65, that would be nice. 75, 70, 75, 70 would be great. There we go, that's okay. Right, we'll pop out our solar panels. I do not have action groups for this, because the action groups we have are just basically the automated sort of aborts and stuff like that, which we can use for the setting up the parachute on the top there, which is nicely set. So again, this is a craft that's very much an adaptation of what we've used before, and you can see we've got fuel tanks we've used like before, engine as before. We've got the addition of, if I try and click on it, and we'll try and get them down, landing legs. Yeah, we can just leave them stuck out there. Pod that you've seen before with some batteries in the middle of there, and the solar panels that extend to give us more power. Interestingly, the update to Kerbalism should mean that occluded by terrain, that should have stopped, but it has not. So that's brilliant, isn't it? That's wonderful. We've still got that occluded. I need to check to see if there's a glitch there. I think there is. I think there's actually something I need to change in a file somewhere to fix that slight problem. But we will have a look. I think that's actually just a yes/no that I need to fix, but I'll have to look at that. So we don't need to worry too much, though. We've got plenty of electric charge. We're actually getting charge somehow from somewhere. Not entirely sure how we're getting it. Anyway, so I'm going to plot our node, and I will join you back in a moment. Right, you can see that I've actually put a maneuver in. It's going to happen in about 1 hour 30 minutes, and we're going to go into this nice, what looks like potentially an equatorial plane, almost zero inclination. There is a little bit there. So what we've done is or I have looked at the ascending descending node. I can see that this descending node is going to be sort of 90 degrees ahead of, well, of where the body is now, where Armstrong is now. So I know that actually if I burn there, I'm going to get somewhere in the region, and then I just click the next orbit button. Once I've got this orbit, this Hoffman transfer orbit put in place, use that until I see this happening. And I could fiddle with it, but this is actually just a straight direct. I basically put this in and then hit that button twice, and we've come up with this orbit here, which is, or this route here, which is perfect. So we're going to go for that. We're going to fast forward until we get near the time for that. You can see we've still got the winter owl capsule flying around there, which is interestingly running out of energy. Interesting. So I suppose we should really orientate ourselves. I don't think we really need to worry too much about that at the moment, though. So we're just going to accelerate up a little bit until we get to the right time. You can see we're actually going to be right over the KSC, because we actually launched almost just after the descending node. So if we'd have got our timing a little bit different, we could have gone for a direct transfer actually if the planet had been in the right place. And there's Lua finally in the right place, and there's that sparkly thing. Is that Armstrong? I think that's Armstrong, so I wonder what that is. That must be something else. Anyway, this is going to be about 1.5 minute burn, so about 45 seconds we want to go, probably about 50 just to be safe, and then we'll just wait until we get to there and then fire the engines up. So there we go, get it to about 50 something, 7 seconds to go. Should probably put these landing legs in, but we're not too worried about that. And then just let's just fire the engines. So loving the effects on this. So this is waterfall. I love the sort of lighting on this. I actually love this engine design with the little extra tanks on it. I love the fact it's got its own little fuel supply sort of thing. What I might do is actually prioritize this tank so that we get a bit more weight in the tail. Yeah, I quite like that. Get some more weight down in the tail. Pop this one up. Just because if I choose to bring this thing further down into the atmosphere on our return, we've got that in place. Now we do have a heat shield here, and I don't know if I want to recover the entire craft. Now, we haven't done science around Kerbin, and we do need to because we've got these missions that require a bit of science around Kerbin. Rhode, around Rhode. Oh god. We're on our way to Kerbin somehow. Now we have got into orbit, which is great. We've had that orbit, so that's ticked. So now we've just got to return, but we're going to do that later. We're going to take some time for that. So Rhode, we've got to transmit or recover science. So I'm not going to transmit it. We're not going to be transmitting it because we have all the Rhode science. We're going to pop out to here actually, so we can. Ooh, look at that sound jumping in my ears. We're going to keep our focus on Armstrong for now, and we want to get ourselves into this. Is what this would be perfect. If I can get this, I'm going to be a very happy chappy. We need to get ready to actually reduce this a bit and be a bit more elegant about our approaching. Take our time. We're not in too much of a hurry. We're already on our route, and we need to be ready to just cut this when we get close. We're going to be close. Oh. There we go. So we're coming in now, and we've cut it a little bit. Again, if you play RP1 or anything like that, Realism Overhaul, this is a very strange experience. Being able to actually stop your engines. So there we go. That's going to be a periapse of about 9 kilometers, but we're on a bit of an angle. When we've got a little bit of an inclination, it's not perfect. So not perfect, but we will do with that. So one thing we need to do while we're traveling is actually, first of all, get our crew. Hello, how are you? Are you doing well? Yes. We need to get you to do an EVA. I think we're going to grab some EVA data because it's. We could force a. Yeah, let's do that. Let's force that. So force run that. How long is that going to take? Oh, it takes quite a lot of time to do that, doesn't it? The crew report. Let's stop that. Let's activate it. I don't really want that. Let us do an EVA because I think EVAs are quick and they don't take much space up, and we're actually going to need to be important, and we're going to actually have to remember that EVA report info. I want to force run you. Yeah, it's much quicker. Because of course we want to make sure that we actually have this science. We could get it on the way back, but we actually have to store it. We've got a limited storage space inside this capsule. So if we bring this up. Where are we? Exploration. We don't have connection because we're not in it, but we'll see in a minute when we go back in. We'll actually be able to see what is going on regarding the science situation there. So we'll get to 60%. We're going to wait until it gets to. I think I could speed this section up, but yeah. So yeah, this craft has got quite a lot of Delta V. I am wondering whether we could have actually gone with one less fuel tank, actually, if I'm entirely honest, and then we could have probably done the full launch with the launch stage, and then just even potentially done part of the transfer. But we'll see. Oh, right, we need to stop forcing that run, and then we need to just start it and have it waiting, and close that. And then we want to transfer the data to there, and then we want to board. So there we go. So now we've boarded, and we can see. Let's have a look what data have we got on board. We have a crew report from low, which we can get rid of. Don't need that. We have a crew report from that there. There's a bit of, oh, I can actually get some surface stuff there. That's important to remember. I must remember to get some of that. So we got that, and then we got this one, which is some stuff as well. So no connection, no data connection. That's interesting. Do I actually have comms device on this? That's interesting. I seem to have something. Let's hit the, if you hit off on a keyboard, my keyboard is the @ symbol, but there is also always a symbol of some sort. So we have something. What have we got? No data transfer, no signal, but it says I've got a signal there. It says I have a weak signal. That's interesting. Right. Obviously this is a crude mission, so I don't need to have signal for everything, but it would be nice. So let us just warp to there. Let's just warp out there and let's see what's going on. So we need to prepare. So we're gonna try and go into orbit first, then we're gonna maybe fix our inclination, and then we're gonna come down in at least one biome. We have a 1,700 delta V left. I think we only need probably about 200 delta V to actually get into orbit around this this moon. So this is an easy moon to orbit. It'd be a nice moon to build a station, a space station around, or something like that. I'm not sure it actually poses with much use though. because it's so far out, it's so light, it's not going to give us any big assists or anything, potentially refueling. We've also got to look at lure as well at some point and try and figure out what's going on with that. So we're just going to zoom in here. You can see we've already got our winter hour capsule flowing there. We've got our Acuity 2 just doing its scanning of the surface, which is really nice actually. It's a nice little thing there. And we do have on the other side here, if you can't see it, interesting, let's have a look. Have we got them turned off? It should be there. We actually have our probe that we put down there in a previous episode, which is not showing up, but we'll have a look. Oh, we've got signal. How have we now got signal? That's interesting, isn't it? So we've now got signal somehow that we didn't have before. Yeah, I need to have a good look at this save and actually figure out what's going on with the whole sunlight, no sunlight, signal, no signal. We'll have to have a good look at it. I think I need to, I did actually have a patch type suggestion that I got from somewhere regarding the stars, but we'll have a look. I know Kerbalism's had an update regarding that, and I think it's going to be potentially Copernicus, I think the app, the mod that's going to be a problem. Anyway, here we are, coming in. We're going to just speed up to there. And what we're actually going to do is, I'm going to do this without a maneuver node, because I can. So what we want to do is, when we get to time warping finish, we're going to put ourselves in the retrograde position. We can see that we're actually going to hit periaps in about 50 seconds. And so what I'm just going to do is, I'm just going to wait until we get near periaps, and then just burn the engines and drop us into an orbit, hopefully. Something that's suitable. So we're going to wait until about, what, 10 seconds? 10 seconds, 9 seconds, whoa, 5 seconds. Probably should have done it a bit earlier. There we go, fire some engines. We're gone past periaps, great, not perfect, but it'll do. And we should just watch. You can see this is starting to curve, just starting to curve around. It's going to go very quickly when it does it. Here we go, looking at our delta V. So we've used about 200. Okay, we need 300, 400. There we go. So we've now got ourselves a an inclined orbit that's not brilliant. So I want to get onto the equator, as it were, onto the zero inclination. I know this craft has pretty much that. So we're going to set that as a target, and then right here I'm going to add a maneuver, and my aim is I want to bring it down. Now you'll notice it's now got a higher apoapse than it had. That's because if you think about it, I'm trying to go for an equatorial orbit, but I've actually pulled down my orbit, but also put a little bit of energy in that forward direction, the prograde direction of my final orbit. Okay, because we're actually applying this normal antinormal to the original orbitary track. When it becomes down here, some of that energy is now gone into this direction, so it's actually pushed it out. If you get more extreme orbits, you get the same situation. So what we're going to do is because of that, we're going to pull it back a bit, and I'm going to see, can we get into a nice sort of, yeah, that's not too bad. I want to pull it back and down until I get to a reasonable level. So 22.5, 1.6, 1.3, and then you see it starts to rotate there. Got that there. Great. So we're going to time warp towards that and get ready on the keys, on the keyboards. We're going to put ourselves onto the I believe it's going to be the anti-normal, is it? Yeah, we're going anti-normal, and you can see it's off to one side because of the fact that we're not actually, and we don't want target, we want orbit, because we're not actually, there we go, going to do just a normal or anti-normal burn. We're actually going to try and cancel out some of that energy. We're actually pushing against ourselves a little bit, which is a bit of an odd one actually. So speed up a little bit. So it's only a 2-second burn, so we'll get closer and then we'll do it. And again, you don't have to be really massively accurate with this. Fire the engines. There we go. Close enough, I think. That will do. And we can have a look on the left hand side here. It tells us our inclination is 0.1. Perfect. And while we're here, we'll just tap on you, left click, and untarget that. Right, now to have a look at the planet, to the moon, and have a look what we want. So I'm going to have a look at that, and I will jump back in about a second. Right, we are going to go for a landing in this gorge area here. So we're going to time warp to here. And then we're just going to fire the engines, land, get the science, get out of Dodge. I am tempted to see if we could hop to another biome, but I think I want to send a rover in future, and I'm not ready to do that yet. And we need to get on with seeing other places. So you've done the for science bit, guessing you've just seen that. Now it's time for us to land. So first of all, let's just bring it down. So we're going to put ourselves into a retrograde position. And we're going to fire our engines, bring it down. You can see we're just going to do that there. Shouldn't take too much in the way of fuel. And we're going to pop ourselves right down in the middle there. Yeah, right in the middle of the gorge. Get back onto the craft. You can see we're coming down. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. That gorge looks lovely. It is gorgeous-lummy. We're going to come down. And I think we're probably going to look at probably about 1,000 meters up, a kilometer up. We'll start doing that. Oh, you know what? Make sure you're actually on the radar altimeter instead of that one, otherwise we hit the ground crazily and then we wonder why we hit it. We've got a time to impact there. Do that. Got loads of time on this actually. Oh, that's quite nice actually. So we've got a time to impact data, and we've got a burn time calculator as well, so I could actually go really close. Get it down to, you know, quite a bit down. I think about 1,000 meters is going to be the right one. You can, oh look, that's a nice view. So yeah, it's suggesting burn of about 10 seconds. So we could probably just fire it now, like I said. And I think we're probably actually going to be overdoing it because we're going to use fuel up, and I'm not entirely sure how accurate. Oh, we're going too far. Not entirely sure how accurate the systems are for this, so we'll see. Going up, didn't mean to do it so powerfully. So there we go. We're going to go back down again, and when we get to about 500, there we go. Pop it onto retrograde. It's a lot easier when you've got a pilot that can actually do that. Grace is loving it right now, absolutely loving it. We can see the shadow coming up. Let's give ourselves a little bit of firing there. One of the reasons the Apollo, or one of the requirements of the Apollo mission, was that actually the sun be at an angle of the surface, so you got a shadow that you could actually use for helping in landing, because of course there's no real scale on the ground. You know, these boulders are no idea what the sort of sizes are of them and the distance, and so it's actually quite hard to visualize as a pilot what's going on. We've got a bit of interesting sort of patterns on the ground there, which is quite interesting. So we're just going to come down. We can go a bit further before we really sort of reduce this down. I'm going to take it down to what, about 50, and then we'll really, yeah, we go. There we go. Take it down nicely. So we can just let the engine roll a little bit now. And of course, if you play any of the mods like Realism Overhaul or anything like that, this is a bit of an odd experience. I've been playing quite a bit of that recently, and I do like playing it. It's very strange having such a heavy throttleable engine doing this for you. So this is a really strange experience for me. I'm sort of like, this is a lot easier than it should be, and I'm actually not throttling as much as I should, because I'm just not used to it. It's either on or off normally. There we go, coming down, engines off. We have contact. Reset the SAS so it doesn't flop around. You can see we're on a slight slope, but it's not too bad. Okie doke. Right, let's have a look what we got running. So experiments. We've got experiments running. What we got? Yeah, we've got running the crew report. That's good. That's going to take 4 minutes. I don't really be bothered waiting for 4 minutes for that. Let's get you out and doing stuff first of all. So EVA you first. Can you do an EVA from... Oh, are we wobbling? Right, we're okay. Because the SAS isn't... Now that's something to take into account. The SAS won't hold it when she gets out, which means any other biome is going to be a problem, particularly those hill ones over there, which was what I was looking at. That could be a problem. Right. How are we doing for the EVA? Well, first of all, get those on. How do I do that? I've just clicked a button. Science. I want EVA on, and I want that on. Right. There we go. Right. Actually, you know what? Let's force that. Do a force run, because we need science from space around here, so I don't need to worry about it if I get this one now and then we deposit it. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to... Did I seriously do that? We've put a solar panel right underneath where she's going to... I'm really sorry, Grace. This is going to be annoying. I'm going to have to somehow... I wonder if I could just climb you up a bit, first of all. Give us a bit of... No, you can't. That's as far as you're going to climb up. Okay. And I can't activate your I can't activate your jetpack until you're elsewhere. Wonderful. Superb. So I have to get you off here before I can activate it. Right, well, first of all, we're going to stop that because we've got enough. We're going to transfer the data there. We're going to turn that back on. Right, here we go. It's going to have to be quick. It's going to be let go, fire up, go. Let go, fire up. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Just saved it. We could have killed our solar panel there. Right, just bring it down ever so quietly and gently. There we go. Wonderful. Grace, would you like to turn off the jetpack, because that's whoa, we move a lot. Hello? Why? I turned off your jetpack. Turn around, face me. There we go. As a photo op, get the mountains in the background. There we go. Photo op, we'll have you. Thank you. Right. Probably should plant a flag, because that is the overall mission, is it not? Yes, it is. Plant flag. Come on, Grace. You don't look particularly... Get your visor down. Where's your visor? Where's your visor? There is a visor, isn't there? I don't have the opportunity to do that. Right, well, this is first Kerbal. And I don't think we need to... It's Grace. It's Grace. Rawson. Well done, Grace. You are the first Kerbal to have placed yourself upon another planetary body. Well, that we know of. Technically, we come from another planet, so I suppose everybody's on another planet. What is that? That is not a salute. That's not the salute that we do. I'm very tempted to press this button right now to do that one instead. I don't want to look at you. We don't do things like that. Thank you very much. Right, what are we doing for science? We have got everything. Okay. So now the next task is getting back into that capsule. I think we're going to go up the top end here. And we need to jump pack it up. Right, you're going to go too far, aren't you? There we go. Right, we're going to... I actually want you facing that way because it's easier if I do it like that. Right. So do that. Right. Up a bit. Up a bit. Thank you. Up a bit more. To the there. And up. Oh. Grab it. Oh, good. You know what? Ladders. We need ladders, don't we? Right. How are you doing for science? Can we deposit the science in there? Good stuff. Now, let's board. Let's have a look at what science we've actually got on board. So we now have Armstrong surface gorges. Are those... hello. Crew report from surface. Oh, because we're still collecting that. Okay, right, yeah. And then we've got surface from Kerbin. That's not something I want. Spore safe low. EV. Oh, we've got the sample there. That's good. Oh, we're going to get a big chunk of science from that. Right. Let's have a look at this planet of ours that we're on, Moon. Right, I like the look of this. My concern is it's rough. And we can't hold this craft, so we're not going to do it. We're going to send a rover. Yeah, I've made a decision. We're going to send a rover. The next time we're here, the next time we have an opportunity, we're going to send a rover here with a crew. They're going to drive over there. All right, so I'm going to wait for this 3 minutes. I'm going to fast forward, and I'll see you once we've got all of this science. Note to self: do not fast forward when on the surface of a moon. And your SAS, anyway, it's not a good idea. Let me just put it that way. So obviously the surface is not great for this. So let's have a look. What have we got? Have we got all of our missions doing well? We've got transmit science from space around Armstrong. We've got that ready to go. Data around Rhode. We've got that on the craft. Right. Science data from the surface. Got samples. Right. Crew safely in orbit. We've done the orbit. We've just got to return them. And we've done the crew landing on Armstrong. We've just got to return it, and we've done that flag. Right. I suppose we better get ourselves into orbit then. So we're going to just fire the engines a little bit. And then I'm going to orientate myself a little bit. I want to get myself orientated nicely. There's the north. Okay. And then, oh, actually, I want to be the other way around. Oh, I'm terrible. You know what? I always want north to be at the top. It shouldn't be. Right, and then we're going to turn ourselves over. Just like so. Like that. And then we're going to fire our engines. And I want to take our orbital height up to, I don't know, ideally 510. Hello. Oh, I did that thing again where we've if you put your mouse over there, it doesn't enjoy it. So let's do that. Pull that back round. Let's lower it. That's a massively high height for us. There we go. That's okay. Right. Now we're going to come back down at some point, but yeah. Now we're pretty equatorial, so that's okay. So let's go to here. Yeah, let's warp there. And we're just going to pop ourselves, we're just going to get ourselves off the surface. I could have left it as it was, but right. There we go. Getting nearby. Thank you very much. This is going to be a grotty return. We've got a lot of delta V. You know what, we should have hopped this craft around, but no, I think we're doing the right thing, because I have a horrible feeling that we could have lost a crew member. I don't really want to lose one of our best pilots right now. There we go. Pull that up. That's fine. Right. So, next bit. I want to get back to Rhode, so we're going to go, right, where do I want to fire this? I want to put a maneuver here, and then I want to do a bit of that. What does that look like? Is that taking me back? Is that taking me? Yeah, that's taking me back. It's taking me back. It's taking me back. Right, it's taking me too far back. How we going? How we going? Right. No, I don't want that one. Which is the first one? No, I still haven't got it. First one. There we go. Right, 10. I don't know what my preferred height return is. I don't know if I've calculated this. It's so long since I played this. It's a couple of weeks at least since I've actually played this, so I can't remember. Should we go at 25? It's 25. No, because the atmosphere is at 50, so 20. Let's do 20. Yeah, let's do 20. So about that. That's close enough. Right. Let's time up to there. Get into the craft. We're just going to do this. We're just going to fire it off as it says. Do that. There we go. Do that. Get it to the right point. It's going to be 25 seconds or something like that. It's almost nothing. I can always change it en route because we have so much fuel on this. I might actually try and bring this in for a landing. We'll lose the, you know what, before we do the burn. That's empty. Okay. Right, so we have got that going. That's good. We've got the thing going. Right. So do that. We've got most of the weight potentially at this end, which is good. I'm going to leave the landing legs out because they might help us when we come into land. No, actually, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Right, how are we doing? How are we doing? What is that looking like? Perfect. Perfect take. Right. With that in mind, what is that? That's that craft that we don't understand how it got there. I wonder if we're going to find those all the way around the system as we're going. That'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it, if we found the winter owl people all the way around the systems as we go. Or maybe it's just a random name. I don't know. Google it. YouTube, winter owl. Give it a go. You might learn a little bit about old school Kerbal. Right. So let's go fast forward a bit. Let's go on. Come on. Give me arrow control. Thank you. Right. Make it go faster. There we go. I used to work in the Middle East, and I hate to say it, that is my horrible Middle Eastern tone there. Right, so we're going to warp to there. Oh, you can see it's predicting our atmospheric interface thing there. That's interesting. So maybe that's telling me that actually I'm not going to be as good as I think I am. All right, slow it down. I want to go to about here. Right, so it thinks I'm going to skip back out the atmosphere at that height. That is interesting. So let us do a retrograde burn. Is that the KSC? That's the island airfield. Oh, come on. Could I actually put this down near KSC? Oh. Right, first of all, where's it likely to go? Right, let's give ourselves a little bit of burnage. perhaps is still a bit low, a bit high, but we'll see. Let's see, is it predicting? I've never really used these prediction programs before, so I don't know what it's going to predict, how it's going to predict it, how it does the calculations. I quite like to not do that. And then I want to do a little burn to just a normal anti-normal burn. So it's my anti-normal, that's my anti-normal, so I want to bring that down, and let's just bring that down a bit. Get me even closer. Wunderbar. Use all the fuel, although I actually do want to land the craft at some point, so that'll be a potential problem, but do that. There we go. Right. I think that's it. I'm happy with that. We're coming in reasonably hot. We want to be in retrograde. Right. So we may end up jumping back out of orbit here. I don't know. Back out into orbit. I don't know. We have to be aware of that. That's an interesting orbit it's got us going on. That's very interesting. Right. Here we go. No, I think we're going to just... I think this isn't calculating it properly. I think it's not taking into account everything it needs to take into account. So I think we're coming down, and I think that is the island airfield, and that's on the other side of the planet. I think we're going to miss our target miles off, but hey. Exit the atmosphere when? Right, so let's have a look. Are we slowing? We are slowing. How much can I afford to burn out? That's a good question. We're not really losing as much speed as I would have liked. Have we lost anything yet? Oh, we are overheating the panels quite considerably, aren't we? Goodbye, solar panels. Goodbye. Is that helping? Is that helping at all? Oh, we're coming down. Yes, we are. We are coming down now. Okay. Oh, what's that? The island. So we're going to come down after the island airfield. Okay, that's not a problem. And the engines are getting a little toasty warm. That's our shadow there. That's good. Of course, I need the end. What was that? Is that one of my landing legs? But that was one of the landing legs. Yeah, that's another one, isn't it? Probably should have used some of this fuel to slow us down a bit. Let's do a bit of that. Let's save nothing. It'd be quite cool to bring part of this craft down, but I have a horrible feeling that we've now basically killed it because we got rid of landing legs, and then we're going to take a lot of them up. Lose a few fuel tanks, but if I can get the solar cells back and the basis for... There we go. We're now going in for a land. That's what we're doing. Okay. What is going on? How are you still there? I'm going down. It's very confused, isn't it? It's very confused, that map. Oh dear. Give me control. Give me control. Give me control. Fire the engines just a little bit for gimbalness. Of course, how the parachute has survived this is quite interesting. So maybe this is actually not as difficult to come through the atmosphere as you think. Turn the engine off. Let's just see what happens. I suppose we slowed right down there. So that's that. And we got KSC there. And I believe we're sort of doing it. Right. The parachute is armed, I believe. Yep. It is armed. I can't remember what it goes off at. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this go. I really hope that we can actually... is it 5,000? I can't remember. So we're going to let it just tumble. We're going to put it on... Right, we've got it on the radar altimeter. We're doing a bit of flipping because we're losing speed, obviously. And we're going... there we go. Heavy bit first. That's what we wanted. Superb. Right. Now we're coming down. We're going to be in the swampy bit again, aren't we? Oh, hello. That's new. We've got a turnover now because we've got a bit of interesting aero going on there, I'm guessing. Got some potential lifting body effect, possibly. That'd be quite funny, wouldn't it, if we've got a lifting body. We're still very high up, but the air's getting thicker. So we're into the sort of mid-atmosphere range now, and we're killing off, and we're just, this is really doing a bit of a... There we go. So that's the parachute not fully deployed. Okay, that's good. So can we bring the whole cap, not a tree, Oh, you are kidding. No, I think we're going to be okay. I hate trees. Ironically, given my previous occupation. It'd be nice if we got a bit of burning. Oh, that was tight. 200 meters up. This has got a bit of weight behind it, hasn't it? So we know we can actually probably full throttle it at the end. Okay, so I think full throttle at the end is going to be required, or at least high levels of throttle at the end. So we're coming down. Okay, Grace, we've been a bit risky by bringing the whole thing back, haven't we? There we go, and there we go. And we're down. Oof. And you get to keep the whole craft, isn't that wonderful? Right, and you're doing a little report there, right? So I think we'll let you finish off that piece of science that gets us almost nothing at all, and then we will go and see what we have won. Right, so we have got a big chunk of science. We've got all these samples from Armstrong, EVA report in space, sandy surface, 25 for getting a vessel that's landed on the surface of Armstrong back. So we're up to 260 science. That's wonderful. Good stuff. Right, next we have parts back. We got 3,000 funds back. Wonderful. And you have not leveled up. Even though you landed on another planetary body, you don't get any more points. That's brilliant. We've got a load of contracts, have we? So, protective shell. Oh, we did that in orbit. Oh, because I was in orbit when I did it. How wonderful. Oh no, that's actually probably old ones. We've done those. Right. Milestones. Rendezvous around Armstrong. That's from the previous mission. Forgot to get rid of it. We collected. Yeah, we didn't get you back. And yeah, okay. This is old. Yeah, that's old. Right. So we finished the Armstrong program. We planted a flag. We did a crewed return, landing and return. We got a stable orbit. We got scientific data from around Rhode. We got scientific data from the surface of Armstrong. We got scientific data from around Armstrong. And we've got new strategies, Lua program, the Ash program, Lua probes, Ash probes. Right. Done. So I think we're going to call that a day for today. We're going to spend some science. At the start of next episode, we're going to look at some missions in Mission Control. I think at the moment we have none. We have no missions. We've cleared out all of our missions in one go. So from me, until next time, have a great one.